In this topic, I want to help you understand how to remember adjective ending rules in German language. But before I do that, let me scare you for just 2 3 minutes. On the screen, you have three different tables. The first column has like nominative, accusative, dative, nominative, accusative, dative, nominative, accusative, dative. Then the rest of the columns are titled as masculine, feminine, neutrum, plural. Be with me, you'll understand this. Now, if I look at the first sentence, ich bin der schlaue Ingenieur, ingenieur is masculine, yeah, and it's a noun, and it finds itself in nominative case because the verb is sein, right? And whenever you have the verb sein in the sentence, the object is almost always in nominative case. Let's look at the next sentence. Ich bin die schlaue Ingenieurin. Ingenieurin is just engineer who happens to be a woman. So here the engineering is feminine, yeah. But also it also finds itself in nominative case because the verb remains the same, sein. Conjugated for ich becomes bin. The third sentence is ich bin das schlaue Kind. I am the. So by the way, schlau means smart or clever. Kind means kid. Here kind is neutrum, but it also finds itself and it finds itself in nominative case. Wir sind die schlauen Personen. We are the smart person or smart people. Here persona is plural and it finds itself in nominative case because the verb is sein. Yeah. Let's look at the next row of sentences. Ich kenne den schlauen Ingenieur. Here again the noun remains the same, but now it finds itself in accusative case because the verb is kennen. And what happens if the verb is kennen and the noun finds itself in accusative case? Check the article changes, right? There becomes den. Yeah. Over here, ich kenne die schlaue Ingenieurin. The remains the, das remains das, the remains the over here. So when you go from nominative to accusative, the article, only masculine article changes, other articles remain the same. But if you look at the adjective, right, here it was schlauer, here it became schlauen, here it was schlauer, here it remained schlauer, here it was schlauer, it remained schlauer. But the last column, plural, okay, schlauen remained schlauen. Then if you look at the third scenario where the noun finds itself in dative case because the verb is helfer, uh, if you look at everywhere, so for example, here the article is them, but the adjective is ending in n. Here the article is there because feminine dative. Adjective ending still remains n. Here the article is them because neutrum dative. Article ending is n. Here the article ending is n. So article ending is, I mean, you may, I'm saying you'll have to remember the adjective endings, okay? Not the article ending, the adjective ending. If I look at the next sentence, next table, here, uh, I have only three columns because here I'm using indefinite article and like, eine. An indefinite article does not exist for plural case. So we are only looking at masculine, feminine, and neutrum scenarios. If you look over here, check the adjective ending. Schlauer, schlauen, schlauen, schlauer, schlauer, schlauen, schlaues, schlaues, schlauen. Right? Let's look at the next table. Here, the article that we are using is so just check. For example, like just tell you what is happening over here. The article ending is dependent on the first of all which like which gender, if you can call it, whether it is masculine, feminine, neutrum, or plural. So it depends on that first of all, like whether the whether the adjective will is associated with a noun, and the noun can be plural, neutral, feminine, masculine, and the adjective ending depends on that. It also depends on in which case the noun finds itself. Okay, so the ending of the adjective depends on the noun with which it is associated with. So whether it is masculine, feminine, neutral, plural, whether it finds itself in nominative, accusative, dative case. You also have genitive case, but I don't want to give you examples of genitive case because uh, I'll tell you later why. I mean, I'll tell you right now. So you don't really have sentences. So for example, where the verb makes sure that the noun is in genitive case. What I'm trying to say is that there are verbs which force the object to be in nominative case. There are verbs which force the object to be in accusative case. There are verbs which force the object to be in dative case. Then there are also verbs which force the object to be in genitive case, but we don't need these verbs. So there are, like, you don't need to learn the verbs which force the object to be in genitive case, but otherwise there will be genitive case, right? There can be a preposition which forces the object to be in genitive, which forces the noun to be in genitive case. If you're getting confused, ignore what I just said. We're looking at the third table, right? So we looked at we looked at the similar sentences. uh, Here the article, like here the article was definite article, here the article is indefinite article. Let's look at possessive article, right? So over here, er ist unser bester Ingenieur, beste, bestes, besten. Check. So the adjective ending is changing, kind of, yeah. Now how do you remember all that? If you look at all this, right? So like, so I that's how it looks like, that's how messy it is, right? Then how do you remember all this? And don't forget, I only covered definite article, indefinite article, and possessive article. I have not yet covered the scenario where you can have the negations article, right? Kein. For that as well, the article ending will change. Also, there can be a scenario where you use no article, right? There are situations where you don't use any article. For example, you can say "Er ist," you don't want to say he is our best engineer. You can just say he is good engineer. I don't know where you will say it, but I'm saying there can be scenarios where you don't use any article, right? So how does the adjective ending change over there? So I'm saying that there are five tables, right? One table is for definite article, one table is for indefinite article, one table is for possessive article, one table is for negations article, and then another table for where there is no article, right? Any questions to what I'm trying to help you understand over here? Please ask. Okay, if there is no question, let's try to understand, how do you remember the adjective ending, adjective ending, right? Because it depends on the whether it is masculine, feminine, neutral, plural. It also depends on the case, nominative, accusative, dative, and genitive. It also depends on the article, right? Whether it is definite article, indefinite article, possessive article, negations article, or no article, right? So the ending of the adjective depends on the noun, like masculine, feminine, neutral, plural. It depends on in which case the noun finds itself. It also depends whether there is an article or not. If there is no article, there are one set of rules. If there is an article, you have to ask which kind of an article it is, and then the adjective ending changes, right? How do you remember all this? It's not that difficult. So this is the all the tables that you need to remember. So there is one table for bestimmte article, there is one table for unbestimmte article, and fortunately, the rules for negations article and possessive article are the same. So whether you use negations article or possessive article, the adjective ending remains the same. Then there is a table for when you don't use in any article, right? So if you look at, like, you have to remember, like, 16, 16, like 32, 32 plus 16 is 48, 48 plus 12 around 60, yeah, 60. So 60 different combinations are there. Now how do you remember all this? Let's start. Okay, so you have to remember this table. Now I will help you understand how do you remember all these tables. Let's start. So let's start with let's start with bestimmte article. Yeah, let's start with bestimmte article, negations article, possessive article, and unbestimmte article. But we're only looking at the masculine accusative case. Yeah, we are only looking at the masculine accusative case. Now how to remember what the adjective ending for this scenario is just ask yourself, what is the definite article? Yeah, what is the definite article in masculine accusative case? It is den, right? Definite article in masculine accusative case is den. So the adjective ending is also den. Yeah, I'm just giving you a trick to remember. Yeah, that's how you know that. So we figured out three blocks, right? So three blocks, we know the answer. So masculine accusative, the adjective ending is n, as long as you are using an article. Which article does not matter. Again, I did not give you the rule for own article, without article. I'm telling you, just as long as you use an article and the noun finds itself in masculine accusative case, the adjective ending will be n. Then let's talk about scenarios where the noun is either plural, or the noun finds itself in dative case, or the noun finds itself in genitive case. Again, let's look at the scenario where the noun is either plural, or the noun finds itself in dative case, or the noun is in genitive case. Here the adjective ending is also n. Okay, so far understood. Yeah, so we have understood for many scenarios. For most of the scenarios, the adjective ending is just n. Yeah, let us look at uh, feminine, right? These two blocks. Okay, feminine, these two blocks. What is the adjective ending over here? This just have to remember the adjective ending is a. That's it. Yeah, adjective ending is a. Few more blocks are left. Let us look at masculine nominative. Yeah, let us look at masculine nominative. Here, if you want to know what the adjective ending is, uh, there are two sets of rules. So it is a for best empty article and it is air for other scenarios. Now, how do you remember this? Just ask yourself, what is the bestimmt article for masculine nominative case? It is there, right? There. Normally you say there. And because the sound of air is already there, the adjective ending need not have the sound of air. So it has a. Other way to look at this is, what is the article, what is the unbestimmt article, indefinite article for masculine nominative case? It is ein. Yeah, the article is ein, and here you will have kein. So the sound of air is not there, and that's why the adjective ending should have the sound of air. I'm saying these are just simple. These are not like actual rules. I'm just giving you some tricks to remember these rules. Yeah. Let us look at the neutrum blocks. Yeah. Here again two sets of rules. You have A for bestimmte article, and you have S for other scenarios. How do you remember this? Again, same question. What is the definite article for neutrum? Again, definite article for neutrum, nominative and accusative. You will say it is thus. So the sound of S is there, right? So the sound of S is there. So here you need not have the sound of S, just A is fine. Over here, what if I ask you what is the negations article for neutrum, nominative, accusative case? You will say it is kind, right? Kind here, kind here. So the sound of S is not there, right? Which you normally have in definite article. That's why you should have the sound of S in the adjective ending. S. The same applies over here as well. So we covered three tables. Yeah. We still have to cover the table where there is no article. Now, how do you remember all this? It is also not so difficult to remember. Just I have some simple rules which you can remember, some simple tricks. So let us start with for the table where there is no article. Now I'll give you all the answers at once, right? So if you want to fill this table, if you want to remember this table, the first three rows, okay, the first three rows, nominative, accusative, dative, just ask yourself, what is the definite article in masculine nominative case? It is there. So the adjective ending will be air. Again, you are remembering this table so that you can use adjective ending, correct adjective ending, when you are not using an article. And to remember the adjective ending, I'm giving you a trick. Ask yourself, if there was the article, if there was an article, what would the article will be? If it was definite article or bestimmte article, you will say it is there. So the adjective ending is air. Here the article would have been the, so the adjective ending is a. Here the article would have been the, so the adjective ending is s. Here the article would have been the, so the adjective ending is a. Here the article would have been they, then, so the adjective ending is n. Here the article would have been the, so the adjective ending is a. You get the idea, right? Just ask yourself, if there was an article and the article was definite article, what would that article have been? And just that's how you can remember the adjective ending for the first three rows: nominative, accusative, dative. For genative, I don't couldn't think of any rule. Just remember masculine neutrum n. Okay, masculine neutrum n. Feminine it is air. Masculine neutrum n. Feminine it is air. Any questions?